Hey, what's happening, Cheesecake Nation? It's Supercharged Funk and the Dave. Blasting at you with another This Week in Wrestling. So, this is going to be a hefty episode.
Tons of content.
I might even break this into two parts. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but... Again, a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it with last Sunday's inaugural Smackdown Live pay-per-view, Backlash. This was a really good show. Aside from one teensy-weensy little thing, I think this was a good show. I give it an 8.5. I think this was fantastic. Could have been a perfect 10 in my opinion, but there's just one little thing.
It's like a brain tumor.
Oh, it pissed me off so much, and we will get into that. So, to start off, we had the six-pack challenge for the...
We had a pre-show.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I almost totally forgot about the pre-show.
And on this horrible pre-show, we had Boring Corbin v. Apollo Crews. Didn't call him Creed. Still dropped the last name, goddammit. It's not a bad little match. Corbin ended up going over. I guess that's somebody they kind of need. I don't see the face to put him against that you're building him up for right now. So yeah. I'm a little confused on what they're doing, but I'm alright with it, I guess, for now. Alright, now let's get to the main show.
Now we have the six-pack challenge for the Smackdown Women's Championship. And
which really wasn't a six-pack challenge.
Yeah.
An actual six-pack challenge is more of a gauntlet-style match, where they would draw lots, and it's one-on-one matches, and like Survivor... Like, as one person gets eliminated, the next person would come in. This was just an elimination battle royal.
Yeah, so, but again, this was pretty solid, you know. Very surprised at the order that these women went out. So, coming out, Alexa Bliss has her new Harley Quinn gear.
I think it's like Vince McMahon was like, we need a new lonely character. We don't have AJ and her little girl charms. You're gonna be the new one.
Yeah, so,
look, sexy little girl. And she's like, yeah.
And yeah, they keep bringing up the fact that she's short too lately.
Yeah, and they've given her like horrible nicknames, like the diminutive Dynamo. It's like, no, here, I'm gonna give it to you because it hurts my soul to hear really bad ones. Call her the Petite Pummeler. You're welcome.
So Alexa was the first one eliminated, followed by Naomi. Followed by Natalia.
And wait, I'll just continue so you can go through the eliminations. I want to kind of point something out.
And immediately followed by Nikki. So at the very end, it was Carmella and Becky Lynch. And at the end of the night, Becky Lynch is your SmackDown Women's Champion.
Alright, this was super duper... Well, I gotta say, it was a good match. But the booking to it was super duper lazy. It was, you get a pin, you take a pin. Everybody who got up won, and ended up immediately losing. They were the next one out.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
So, Alexa Bliss got pinned by Naomi, who ended up getting pinned by
Natalia.
Natty, who ended up getting pinned by
Nikki,
who ended up immediately getting pinned by
Carmella,
who immediately got her ass handed to her by the eventual winner, and your first ever, as JBL would put it, Women's SmackDown Women's Championship champion.
Yeah.
Margot.
And we've been talking about how the whole "you deserve it" chant kind of gets thrown around way too much. I think Becky kind of deserved this one, even in kayfabe.
No, I hate it. I hate the chant, and I'll never support it.
You just don't like it in general?
Yeah, I mean, can you really say she's better than Charlotte?
No.
That she doesn't deserve to be the champion over Charlotte. You could say, alright, you deserve to be the champion of this B show, but that's not what you're chanting. You're like, you're You're second best. Thank God Charlotte's not here.
I'll give that one to that.
Like, no, I hate that chant. I'm starting to hate all chants effectively. I'm starting to just hate the audience. Where they're like, that is awesome. He did a headlock takedown. That was super sweet. Or like, when they make it feel like a big match and they're like, yeah, that is awesome. Like, they haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Or, you still got it. It's like, shut up. Shut up, you goofs. And when we get to the CWC, well, this little mini rant is going to go full on Super Saiyan rant.
Alright, so next up we had the redo of the, not the preliminaries, but the semifinals in the tag tourney to see who would go on to face Heath and Rhino later on in the night, which was the Usos, the newly found heel Usos versus the Hype Bros.
Or, as Daniel Bryan calls them, the Uso Bros and the Hype Brothers.
Yeah, oh yeah. I remember that. That was pretty funny.
So, gotta say, I've never been a huge Usos guy. I'm digging this new, kind of the revival.
Yeah.
Some reason I watched a lot of the revival, or they just very quickly became the revival somehow.
Yeah, my one thing is like they're gonna have to change. You know, they're probably gonna get all new shirts and shit. They have to get rid of their.
No, they're heels. They shouldn't sell T-shirts. They need a new Tron. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Don't sell T-shirts. Your heels. Talk to Chris Jericho about that shit. Like, if you don't have a T-shirt, put "This fan is stupid" on your T-shirt. That's a fucking winning T-shirt. You got some fucking "You guys have it. Usos are my favorite. I'm a big dumb fuck." Arrow pointing up.
So the Usos beat the shit out of the Hype Brothers, and they would continue on with like an injury angle for.
This one actually worked. They hit the right leg.
Yeah.
And I even dug the leg lock as a finish. Worked for me. Good shit.
So yeah, Usos are looking good. Glad to see that the.
Not super keen on the new gear though.
Yeah, where was it? I wrote it down.
At
Jay is the skin, Jimmy's the shirt. That's how you can tell them apart in ring now.
No, Jimmy doesn't have. Jimmy's been rocking the shirtless look. He's been doing it for a while.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because Jay is the one that's not with Naomi. I think he might have a little bit of the Rumley gut. Because he's always rocking shit. Because he's the one who's got the more straggly, like, the longer beard. I can actually tell them apart now.
Okay. Alright, maybe I did just write it down wrong, but I could have sworn, like, when they were in the ring, they said it was...
It was probably Otunga, and he's always wrong.
Oh.
If he said something, he was wrong.
Well, either way, you just gotta pay attention. You can still tell who's...
Without the face paint, I can actually tell the difference with, like, looking at their face. When they were all face paint, like,
one of them does have, like, a more longer, bushier beard.
Yeah, like, Jimmy has, like, a goatee.
Yeah.
It's, like, pretty clean. You can tell he's married.
Yeah.
And then you got, like, Jay, he's just got, like... and he's, like, got, like, longer, more straggly hair.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I do like that they're wearing different gear to kind of signify it. That's something I've been saying. Like, hey, we need a little bit of something.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of the gear. It just kind of looked weird. It looked like he had the hell was that Korean song? Looked like he had his pants on. Sigh. Like, because he had the diaper pants.
Yeah.
Where they're, like, super low on you.
Alright, Sugar, what do you think you're doing? No, that's over there.
Oh, I got her. She's like, holy shit. Ow.
Alright, so next up was the Intercontinental Championship match between challenger Dolph Ziggler and current champion Miz. So it looks like this feud isn't dead yet. So I'm still interested in seeing how they're going to continue it later on. And it was a pretty decent match. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It started out very one-sided. I was kind of surprised by how Miz heavy the opening was. Did love Miz using Daniel Bryan's spots. Just to kind of be like, I could do it, but I won't. Because I'm the Miz. And I'm a smart guy. Not a coward. So yeah,
I thought you were going to do the King Ross thing.
No, I will not put that over.
So, the match ends with Maurice spraying something in Dolph Ziggler's eyes.
Or as Michael Cole calls her, Maurice. Yeah, she sprayed arrogance, which is a callback, of course, to Rick the Model. So, good shit. I dug it. It was strong enough to protect Ziggs. Miz gets to go over. Kind of weird how strong Miz was the entire match.
Yeah.
But I guess Ziggler's gimmick is kind of like the longer the match goes, the better chance he'll win kind of thing. Like he's a late start kind of guy. He needs to steal that Giselle gimmick.
He's the Reggie Gigas of the WWE locker room.
They gotta steal the stamina monster gimmick.
Yeah.
From Tozawa. That's kind of like the Ziggler deal. I did dig the following match that would happen later. Just gonna kind of talk about it now. Ziggler kind of picking up more of an amateur wrestling feel to his style. I kind of want him to start working some more of that in, and then I don't know, kind of drop some of the like, oh, he's always working for these spots and go more of an amateur wrestling. I don't know. He just needs to kind of change it up. I feel change up some in-ring stuff. All right, let's continue on.
Okay.
Are we on to the fucking...
So, the next match... I'm sorry, Sugar, you're going to have to move because Daddy's going to... It's going to be his turn to go into rage mode. So, we were supposed to have Randy versus Bray Wyatt in a grudge match. Now, I didn't have very high hopes for this because I figured they were just going to give Randy the win, standard affair. But then they did the thing where Bray attacked him earlier in the show.
Well, you know why, right?
Yeah, because obviously, for those of you who didn't know, Randy actually had an injury. So they worked that in there, and then Bray came out, they said the news, and then Bray insisted that Randy gets counted as a forfeit. So he's standing there all smug, and he wins the match, and I'm like, so what are they going to do now? They tell him that he is going to have a match with someone, and...
I can take a break right here. Immediately when they're going to have some match, and your opponent will be, and they took a break, who were you thinking?
Currently, because that's what they've been doing, I knew it was going to be Kane.
For a second there, I thought it might have been Harper.
Yeah?
For just a second there, I was like, oh, this could be really cool if Harper comes out and he's just like...
I didn't even think of that.
Because I'm kind of ready for Harper to come back, and like Harper to come out, and he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they just have like a hellacious match. And I even thought
would have been cool.
The match with Kane could have been good. But
see, I was so excited because I'm like, oh my god, there's no way they're gonna put Kane over Bray Wyatt. There's no way.
Kane had to get some credibility back. He did put over the Milkman.
Yeah.
But Big Papa Kane, this is his road. First, he beat the Dangler. And then he needed this strong victory over Bray Wyatt.
And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great, And the match was pretty decent, But then Randy Orton came out, and my soul died, Dave. My soul literally just was lit on fire, and it crispied, and
how he's too concussed to work a match, but he can still go in there and do an RKO. Which is a jumping, backbone. And also that he didn't sell the ankle until he rolled out of the ring and he was like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah.
Just so much rage in the heart of Judge Funk. Yeah. I'm so mad. They had such a great opportunity to put Bray Wyatt over, but still, not make Randy look like shit. Because obviously, after what happened the last pay-per-view, With Brock Lesnar, they weren't going to do that to Randy, but they had the perfect opportunity to give Bray a well-needed win, and I'm just so mad.
See, I could have accepted him losing if he was at least against a young guy. Like if it was fucking Bill Russell, Kalisto.
Yeah.
Like he's beating the absolute fuck out of Kalisto, just chucking his fucking ass around. And then Randy comes out and grabs a roll up, and it's like Kalisto wins, and he's just like,
out of all the people in these late veterans have no business putting over these newer big stars, and we as the fans have been told several times that Bray Wyatt is effectively the new Kane, the new Undertaker. He is the new face of fear. Why, in God's name, would you have Kane go over Bray Wyatt in this kind of situation?
Alright, I can explain it. It's not a good reason. Alright, so it's old school booking of, you have two guys and they're both tweeners, so they're just going to run in and interfere each other's matches. And that's going to kind of build your heat. But most people didn't look at it that way. They were just like, oh yeah, good job on old veteran wily-ass Bray Wyatt putting over young gun Kane. Good shit.
So,
yeah, it backfired.
Yeah, that's...
It should have been somebody young. Hell, it could have been an NXT guy just for like a one-night-only kind of thing. Bring up fucking Ty Dillinger or somebody. Bring up my boys. Fucking either shit stick or shitter's clog. Have them go in, get their shit pushed in by Bray Wyatt.
Come in, fucking anybody.
He has a pro wrestling shop, if you want to know.
Get the fuck out.
Well, it's all Biff Busick, like that's his indie name, but...
I don't care.
Yeah, he's got a whole shit ton of shirts.
I will buy one in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, I was just on pro wrestling.
I gotta get one. Show my support for Gooberg. Oh my god.
Apparently he's coming back. He did some sort of promo where
nice.
He's like, I've been training by not wrestling, apparently.
Alright, so moving right along from the disappointment.
Like, I ate some fucking Cheetos, I jacked off, and I watched the Cruiserweight Classic. I'm ready. I'm ready for a whole new start.
So we had the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and Heath Slater and Rhino. Now, again, Usos are looking great as heels.
Yeah, they're my... I don't know. I really like Fandango and Tyler Breeze, but Usos are really becoming my favorite main roster tag team. I still have Revival as my number one. I think they're great.
Yeah.
I was never super sold on American Alpha. It's not my cup of tea, but I can definitely see why people like them.
Yeah, so just gotta wait maybe another week or so just to kind of see them do some more stuff, and I'm liking them.
Who's your favorite main event, counting both shows, tag team right now?
I mean,
the new guy, or New Day guy, they got the club.
Yeah,
Shining Stars, Enzo and Chaos.
I mean, I really like Enzo and Cass. I really like the New Day.
I'm trying to think of those other tag teams on Raw.
I still love the Vaudevillains. Like, I'm so sad that they're...
Simon Gotch can't keep his mouth shut. I got Ascension in there too, even though WWE just seems to fucking hate them.
We'll get to them, But yeah, just there's a lot of good tag teams, but a lot of them just aren't getting the exposure they need.
Yeah, it's my big worry right now when the Revival comes up. If they're not going to be treated.
Yeah. Like when the Vaudevillains came up, they were there. They were in the main, but now they're just kind of pushed back.
Who's your favorite tag team period right now?
Right now, I gotta go New Day.
Okay.
I just love everything they do. Especially this week, we'll get to their little promo, which is pretty funny. Talking about the old day, I enjoyed that. But again, this match, fun little match, nice little snacky cake match. At the end of the night, Rhino and Heath Slater.
Young man Rhino gets the wily veterans, the Uso, to put him over. Good shit. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. No, I'm just being an ass. Yeah, pretty solid match. We both kind of talked about it. We thought it should have kind of continued, and he shouldn't have got the contract yet. But maybe they got the T-shirts ready. They want to sell that merch.
Yeah.
And in a kayfabe sense, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that a guy who's unsigned has T-shirts. I don't even know if they sell the free agent T-shirt. I didn't see it on Shop WWE.
No.
I know they have the new one. The I've got kids and whatever.
I need this job.
Yeah,
it has like I got kids.
It's funny, but you have to be like so clued in because everybody else will be like,
yeah.
Like, all right, go flip burgers then, dickhead. Go pay for your children. I should have just said Heathy Boy's kid or Slater's kid.
Yeah.
Should have said Heathy Boy. Because that's the nickname for him.
Alright, so after that we had the main event. It was AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. Now, I know we've talked about, you're not a huge Dean fan.
Oh, I'm a Dean hater.
How did you feel about this match?
AJ eclipsed him.
Yeah.
Like, in promos, in ring, in presentation, in just, like, the magnitude of, like, when you look at them, you're like, alright, that guy is a star. I could see that guy going on fucking Kathy and Hoba or whatever the hell their names were. And, like, them being like, oh, AJ, tell us about your title reign. He's just like, oh, I love Jesus and titles and my children. And then be like, oh, you're such a good guy. Whereas, like, Dean Ambrose, like, to see him like, I used to wrestle in, like, chainsaw juggling death matches. Now,
do you think that WWE has kind of picked up on that?
I think the fans picked up on it. They started booing Ambrose, and I think they're the only reason he got to where he is. I think when it was coming to the Shield, they looked at the three of them. Because if you don't remember, for you guys, maybe you, Ambrose was a very, very long-running U.S. champion while a member of the Shield. And the reason he didn't defend it is because no one gave a shit. Sethy Boy, I think they finally come around. They're like, that's the guy. I think Roman's, they're like, hey, we're going to back burner him, grill him up a little bit, see if we can put some flavor on that, and then maybe serve it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Dean fizzle away. I think they gave him, the show us what you got, and it's not much. I don't think I know a lot of people really like his promos.
Yeah, it's a very stylized promo, but it's, again, I'm not a huge fan of him, but I
hear a lot of people say if he turns heel, you're going to really enjoy him. That's what they keep telling me, and I'm like, alright, maybe that's the thing. We need him to turn heel.
Yeah, he's the lunatic fringe. He's not, every once in a while he'll do something like this week on Smackdown, he, fudged around with John Cena. He can be a good heel. I think he really could, but you gotta let him do heel stuff.
Yeah, he's just not a good face. He is not good at what he's doing right now. And
not at all.
If he can't do heel, get him out of there. A lot of guys want that spot. Bring Joe up. Alright, so yeah. As far as the match went, not a bad match, but again, you have...
AJ pretty much carried the match.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's like... If I was going to make you a dessert, and I had, fresh fruit and, rich German melted chocolate to drizzle over them, and then you bring, a bag of peanuts and some stale marshmallows. I could make you something that's still pretty good. But one of these things is not like the other. One of these things I'm not fucking buying. So, yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to say either one carried the match. They both did their things. I like Ambrose a million times more in this match than I did in the Ziggler match.
Oh yeah, this felt
like they told the story.
Absolutely. That my boy the puppet, he was talking about how this, like, there wasn't as many matches, but they were a little bit longer. They let them breathe a bit. They let them tell these in-ring stories, and it was just such a better pay-per-view because of it.
Yeah, like I've been kind of saying, I got a feeling Vince isn't really grasping on SmackDown. I don't know if it's Trips. I don't know if it's somebody else running it, but this feels a lot like the Cruiserweight Classic, where they're like, hey,
Yeah.
go out there and show what you got. If you fail, you fail. You know, that's on you. And I think you've seen stars rise. I think Miz, like before this, if you had told somebody the second best match of the night was probably Miz, and it was Miz, not Ziggler. Hey, no offense, I love Ziggler too, but Miz carried that match.
Yeah.
He got in most of the offense, and he looked good doing his offense. It wasn't Ziggler bumping around him, you know. I'm just saying, you know. SmackDown's living up to what it promised on the split. You know, letting guys show what they're worth, and if they're good, you know, they rise on their own, and if they suck, bump them down. You know.
And Ambrose.
So, yeah, I thought this was a pretty fair match. I wasn't my favorite, as you can tell. I think the Hype Bros Usos match was probably my favorite match of the night, followed by Miz and Ziggs. Then probably the ladies. Kane and Bray, I really wanted to like. Like, if they had kept it brutal, I think it could have been a cool match. If they could have kept fucking Randy out of there. Like, I wouldn't have minded if Bray got the pin, the lights went out, did the Bray thing, and Randy was in the ring, RKO'd, and then rolled out. Something
that
like
would have been fine. I totally would have been fine with that.
So you have, like, Randy's playing mind games with
Just
him.
as long as, like I said, Bray shouldn't have lost. If they wanted to still have Randy come out at the end of the match after it was over, totally would have been cool. Totally would have been acceptable.
Because I gotta say, some of those moves in that match were brutal, and you could definitely, like, in a vacuum, really cool shit. But because the ends of the match just kind of soured everything else, it hurts that match in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't a super big fan of the main event, and even the tag title thing. I don't know. I'm just not a huge Heath and Rhino guy. Like, I'm just gonna be fair. Rhino's kind of showing his age a bit.
Yeah.
Like they want to keep him strong. I assume the plan is they're going to have. I think Heath's kayfabe wife's name is Beulah.
Beulah, yeah.
I think she's gonna leave him for Rhino. And like that's going to be your feud when they lose the titles.
That would be pretty funny.
I think that's the plan, because they've been kind of hinting at them, looking at each other, and Rhino's been kind of hitting on everything that moves. Unless, for some fucking stupid reason, they're going to have Ambrose and Rhino feud over Renee. Because that's the other thing he's been doing a lot of.
That would be pretty funny.
But other than Total Divas, I don't think they've ever acknowledged
No, I don't think so.
Dean and Renee. Which, how? You must have the world's greatest personality that just doesn't come through on television.
She just really likes fucking grungy guys.
It's scruffy. He looks like he probably has a pack of cigarettes like rolled up into his sleeve on his arm, but he like doesn't smoke. And he's just like working on a car that'll never run. Like he's got like the engine block and like that's it, and like a frame. And he's just like out there in the yard working, and like that's just her kryptonite, her lady kryptonite, if you will. No offense, I don't love you, Dean, but she seems to. She seems to be rather smitten with you, so good on you. I'm not trying to throw shade at that game. So, alright, that was pretty much all of Backlash. Let's just go right in order, effectively.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Monday Night Raw.
Alright, so Raw started off with Charlotte doing a little champion promo, and then...
Wasn't as good as she's been. I liked her on commentary the last few weeks. She's been doing pretty good.
And she had
I wonder if she has a little bit of stage fright still.
Maybe.
Because it seems like when she's not directly in front of the crowd, she's pretty good on the mic. But it seems like when she's in the ring and the pressure's on. But she's also very Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the learning tree she's learning her promos under. Everybody's like, oh, I wonder if it was Ric Flair. Like, no, those are Stephanie promos. She's watching some Stephanie.
Yeah.
I am liking her Queen of the Women's Division gimmick that she's kind of starting to work up to. Where she's from the Queen City, she's the queen. I don't know if she's going to ever, like, rock a tiara to the ring, but I could see it. So
yeah, and then Sasha comes out saying, hey, I want my title match. Bayley then comes out and says, well, I just, kind of just beat her, so maybe I get the title match, maybe?
Alright, I gotta say one thing. I'm not a huge Bayley super fan. Like, I like her, I don't have anything against her, but, she's never my
cup of tea.
Well, I can't even say that. Like, I enjoy her. Yeah, she's not Asuka. So, like, that hurts her in my mind. But I really like the way she played this off, where she's kind of like the innocent.
Yeah, this
girl.
was kind of cringy, if you ask me.
I liked it, but fair enough.
I'm just like,
I liked it because that's her gimmick. She's kind of playing like the way her gimmick's been explained to me is she's supposed to be. You see Napoleon Dynamite? Mm-hmm. Like the girlfriend. Like that's supposed to be her gimmick. Like she's a geeky girl, and like she's kind of socially awkward, but she tries, and like that's why she's so brutal in the match. But then she'll be like, "Hey, you want to come with me? We'll go get something to eat in the cafeteria." So like I liked it where she's like kind of intimidated by Sasha, so she doesn't want to be like, "Hey, I deserve it," but she's like, "I also did good."
Yeah.
And Sasha's like,
and they're friends too, so
Well, like Sasha's supposed to be like the cool girl.
Yeah.
Whereas like Bayley's supposed to be like the I can't really argue.
Yeah,
with
this women's title hunt on Raw has become like a high school drama, effectively.
Yeah, you have like the preppy girl, the cool girl, the nerd girl, and I gotta just say it. Whoever's coming up with the Miss Piggy thing, stop that. Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, I never really understood that.
Like, that's in your Be a Star campaign where all your faces are picking on a girl who's not overweight at all. You're like, oh, Miss Piggy.
Yeah, I never really understood that. But
she's top heavy, but I don't know. It's not like I don't know. It's weird to me. Like a company where you're trying to be like, oh, body acceptance and things and Nia Jax, but this other girl, Miss Perry, putting down the bacon. Shit.
So, after a few little insults, Dana kind of finally had her breaking point and slapped Charlotte, which
was good at the moment, and it seemed to get some actual crowd support. I think she's a good athlete. I just don't think she has everything together. She don't got the toolkit down.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you've seen her do her little horizontal flippy-do thing with her legs. Yeah, like she's definitely a good athlete. She doesn't have everything together yet. I don't understand why they pulled her up from NXT so quickly. Like, I think there's other girls in NXT that are more complete than her, other than Asuka. Because obviously you need somebody down in NXT to carry their women's division. Yeah. I feel like I can't think of her name. She rocks the blue. It's not blue pants before somebody fucking says that, but she rocks the blue gear. She had that see-through cape at the last takeover.
Oh, give me 2 seconds.
She's an Australian girl. She's got long legs, real good looking.
Aaliyah.
No, it's not
Right?
Aaliyah.
It's not Aaliyah?
Aaliyah's the little mocha who's rocking the Catwoman gear.
Oh,
She wrestled Ember Moon on her debut. That takeover. I can't think of what her name is. It's gonna bug me. I actually really like her. I think she's a real solid wrestler. She also did
Billie Kay.
Billie Kay. She also did a Raw run-up. So I figure, like, bump her down, bump Billie Kay back to Raw. I also would like to see Billie Kay and Eva. as like a red and blue kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I've heard they want to move Mandy up. And I'm like, like Eva's not good. Mandy is like green Eva. Like, Jesus Christ.
So Mick Foley then put a match for the number 1 contendership, which was Sasha versus Bayley versus Dana. Not a bad little match, back and forth.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely, hey, we have Dana in here for your bouncing. She'll bounce around for you guys, hit your moves. The finish of the match though, both women's shoulders were down, both. Bayley
I was like, oh shit! Like I thought that immediately we were gonna do one of those kind of shenanigan things, but
I think that's eventually where they're gonna go because I can't imagine they botched that. Like, there's no way you don't realize your own shoulders are down.
Yeah, so we'll let you guys. We will report on this if they bring it up next Raw, but something tells me that's not what they wanted to do.
Because like all she would have had to do was like instead of having her arms down, just flick them up like that, push up, and she could have bridged. And that was like literally all she would have to do to get her own shoulders up. So like there's no way she didn't know. I'd like to believe. Alright then. I don't know.
Alright, so for right now, Sasha is the number 1 contender.
Speaking of which, did you hear all that stuff? Because like after Sasha cut that promo and she was like, "I'll be number 1. I'll cover for my title," and then apparently they ran like a commercial for Clash of Champions with it, but then they had to like scrub everything because they wanted to do this match. So they wanted it to be like, "Oh, is she?" It's like you already ran the commercial saying it was going to be a one-on-one match, but I still got a feeling they're going to add Bayley.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know. I think Sasha definitely has very, very loyal fans, but it's kind of Paige fans.
Yeah.
Like, she has them, but I don't think it's as big as a lot of people think.
Right.
I think she'll have a loud majority, but I think Bayley's far more over. And she's just coming up. And I think Charlotte's getting good heat, so I would put all 3 in, maybe all 4. I mean, I have no issue with that. And you have Dana take the pin to give either Sasha or Bayley the title. That keeps everybody alive in it and gives them something to do.
You
And
know,
around
do a
that
thing.
time where you should have Nia Jax freed up.
Right. It would be kind of cool to have like Dana like at a point where it's like her and Charlotte in the ring, and Charlotte's like telling her to like let her take the pin, but she doesn't do it. That's maybe where you break them up.
I have this real feeling in my heart of souls, of guts, that WWE really wants to do Sasha Nia because of the major size difference. I feel like they want to put the title on Sasha just to squish her.
Effectively do female version of Big Show versus Ray.
Yeah, effectively. Because Sasha's so small, she can like land on her head and like not hurt herself really. So they could kind of have Nia really toss her around.
Right. Alright, moving right along to another Bo Dallas squash match.
And we kind of figured this out this week. We can kind of take a little detour on the Raw highway into a house show in China where Bo Dallas lost to old
Ben Wang.
Big Wang. My thoughts on old Big Wang. He's big, I'll give him that. Granted, Bo's not super big, so I mean he's no Braun Strowman or like anything, but he's a big dude for a Chinese dude. He's pretty fucking cock diesel. Super duper green, super duper. But he wasn't bad in the match. I saw a lot of people are like, "God, this was boring." I'm like, you guys not know what this match is? What do you think? This was like the hidden gem of the Cruiserweight Classic? I didn't see any Phoenix splashes. I just couldn't get into this shit. His finish was a like running power slam, a la like Bulldog, but it was like a one-step running power slam. So yeah, I didn't think it was anything bad. I mean, he's green as Mountain Dew and fucking other things that are super green. But hey, give them a chance. They hired a bunch of other Chinese people, so we'll see. If you can't tell, I'm kind of excited to see what the Chinese girl can do. Got a preference thing. Being fair. I haven't actually seen her, so like for all I know, she's just like rough looking. But no, in WWE, they're like, no, we're not going to China to get a rough looking girl. We're gonna put her in like fucking buns, and she's gonna be like the fucking cutest thing in the universe. Just saying. Feel free to throw in the comment section how I'm a horrible person. And you're like, you're a big sexist asshole. How dare you buy their t-shirts and give them money? Just because they're cute Asian girls. Like, yeah, son, I'm sorry. It's a disease. Alright, let's continue on. Going back. Taking off our detour, getting back on the Raw Highway.
And next up was the highlight reel.
Oh, wait, did you get the name for the guy?
Oh, it was Brandon Scott.
Good job, Brandon Scott. You got your ass handed to you. What do you think of Bo's new finisher? It's kind of like a crossroads, but like reverse, so they go the other way.
Pretty cool.
I dig it. The only thing I kind of wish is they'd cross the arm across the body so he could grab onto it and use that like a fucking Beyblade top spinner. Because it just kind of looks weird that he grabs him by the shoulder and it's like, ew.
And so next up, we won't really dwell on this too much. It was the highlight reel. Chris Jericho, his guest, Sami Zayn.
I gotta be fair. I fast forward straight to this segment. Didn't give a shit. I was...
Yeah, it's what you think it was, you know.
I think I was playing Minecraft or something, and I was like, oh shit, Raw's on. So I watched the matches, and then I was like, trying to catch back up.
But,
and then I was like, I don't give a shit. And then I saw Jericho smashed him.
Yeah, effectively this was just...
setting up a match.
Sami Zayn, just them talking back and forth about Kevin Owens. You know, Sami Zayn was like, you know, you are a stupid idiot if you think he's your friend. And then, you know, he clocks him with a cell phone.
That's a weird thing to hit him with, but okay.
But he says, like, you know, I got a text message from Kevin Owens. I'll share it with you. And he smacks him in the face. So, alright. So who knows? We'll probably get a thing with Sami Zayn and Chris down the road. But anyway, next up was the next match in the Cesaro versus Shamo match.
Cesaro wins with some shade.
Yeah, he actually cheated to win. Which, you know, I guess...
You know, I've been kind of like down on this, but you know what could be cool? If they put them together as a tag team. I could dig that. Shamo and Cesaro, and they're just like mean. Just mean, bruising, fucking mean.
I could totally see that.
Just like two Finleys, but bigger and stronger. They're just like arm wrenching and punching people in the armpit. They're just mean. That's what I like mean. If you guys can't tell, in Asian women. Two things I like in wrestling. So yeah, mean. Put them together as a tag team where they're just like hard fighting, hard farting, just spitting on shit. And they're just mean. Just like mean. Do it. So yeah, I think this is kind of teasing. You know, maybe it's just me reading into it. Maybe just a little bit of like they're kind of starting to respect one another. That's what I'm hoping. Just because Raw could use some tag teams, says I'm starting to feel the old Klubski might not be taking the titles, and they're going to need somebody else for the New Day to go against. And I think Shamo and Cesaro are two guys that I could see beating the absolute piss out of the New Day.
That would be pretty awesome. Next up, we had Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. This wasn't a total squash, but it was effectively a squash. You know, Alicia Fox got a little sprinkle of offense in there, but obviously not enough to topple the craziness that is Nia Jax. And I remember you saying, I don't know, it was last week, the week before, that Nia Jax needed to be a little bit meaner. Mm-hmm. I think she showed.
Yeah, I'll give her credit where credit's due. I'm still not super sold on her facials and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think this worked.
She definitely,
I liked the part where she was swinging her from barricade to barricade.
Oh, you by her head.
Through. Yeah.
That was...
I'm telling you, though, one thing she really needs to add to her arsenal is the big gal lean. You know, put their throat on it, just lean down, crush it, then you go into your move. You know, you just assert your dominance. Work that face to the crowd, let them know. Scare children. Like, that was probably the greatest thing I ever saw, because I always compare them with Braun Strowman against Sin Cara a couple weeks. Remember, there's that little kid sitting in the crowd, and when like Braun Strowman, he's like, I don't want none of that. Like, that works. I don't think Nia's there, but you gotta just find a kid.
Yeah.
Do a fucking plant. I don't care. And the kid's just like, oh, shit. Please don't fucking hit me, big woman.
Alright, so next up we had the New Day basically apologizing for how shitty the Old Day promo was.
Yeah, oh my god. I don't know what the fuck that even began as.
They were... it sounded like they had kind of the same sentiment. It's like, yeah, we're sorry that you guys had to watch that. That was the club, you know. They blamed it on the club, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
And then they said, you know, they took every footage, all of the footage they could find of that promo, and they burned it.
Which is fair enough, because it deserved it.
Yeah, so I think that was pretty good.
I think they need to just... I think you need a third guy in the club.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a while I think they should bring in Kenny Omega, but I feel like I don't think you could just debut a new guy. Just go sign him right now, and so I don't know. Maybe grabbing somebody else that's either in the company in NXT, but the club could really use somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's kind of my big issue with the New Day. It's kind of like, oh, hey, we're great champions and we're honorable, but we're three guys in a two-man division and we're always kind of interfering.
Yeah. So they had a match, but it was the New Day with Big E on the outside for once against the club, and...
Well, it's usually when they want to lose, they have Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier does good shit, but...
He did pretty good. I think he looked good in this match.
I think
he was the hot tag.
Yeah, I think Kofi's at that spot in his career where everybody knows his shit, so I think it's a good call to do that.
The fact that Xavier was the hot tag was pretty cool. I liked what he did. But at the end of the night, Club picked up the win over the New Day.
Yeah, I think Carl Anderson is the star of this feud. I think he's really good. I think Gallows is a fun promo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not super sold on his in-ring shit still.
Alright, so next up we had Jinder Mahal with sort of this weird...
The Man of Peace. Or, a.k.a. WWE's like, all brown people are the same. So, alright, apparently, in kayfabe, after getting fired as part of the three-man band, he went to Nepal and climbed mountains, talked to like Hindu priests, and now the Hindi Sikh Jinder Mahal is now a Buddhist monk, and he is a man of peace. And he showed that by neck-breakering the absolute piss out of Jack Swagger. Because nothing says peaceful like a neck-breaker. Yeah, it wasn't a bad match. And they're both in my boy camp, so I kind of have a hard time being like, I didn't like it. Really weird that they would have Jinder beat Swagger when they want to do this new thing with Swagger on Smackdown the next night.
Yeah,
you couldn't find somebody else, a fucking gully bully, if you will, Curtis Axel, where he comes out and he's like, I don't give a shit about peace. I'm Curtis Axel. Let's fight. Like that felt like that's what that should have been.
Yeah. So we'll talk about Jack Swagger a little bit more when we get to SmackDown. So, this little feud going on is rather interesting with against the Shining Stars and Enzo and Cass.
If by interesting you mean...
Well, it's just weird that, like...
I hate it.
And just like what they're doing right now, because,
Come to Puerto Rico, the shining star of the Caribbean.
And I like how you totally called it at the very, very beginning that they were travel agents. Now they are literal travel agents.
Yeah, I dig it. They're trying to sell timeshares. Yeah, I can dig it. It's a shit gimmick, but hey, it's something.
At least they're running with it.
It's more than fucking the Gully Bully has.
So, this was kind of like a revenge match from last week for Enzo and Cass. So it was just Enzo versus Epico.
Yeah. And a little bit of cheat ski, but yeah. So the Shining Stars win again.
This is 2-0 for the shining stars, and which is good because they haven't been doing anything since they first debuted months ago. So
well, I don't see them doing anything past this. I got a feeling they're going to go to pay-per-view. Big Cass is going to shit stomp them. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of angle coming out of this where they tease a split. Where, like, you know, Enzo's and he's like, tag me in, and Big Cass is just kind of wrecking shop by himself.
Right.
Like, he doesn't do the tag when, you know, it seems like the opportune time. He just wrecks shop on the Shining Stars. And just kind of tease that dissension where he's kind of like, he knows he's the stronger member of the tag.
Yeah. Alright, so, last match of the night. The main event, which was Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, and if Roman wins, the match at Night of Champions, not Night of the Champions, mind you, but at Night of Champions, this would have been a triple threat. And,
kind of a weird match.
Yeah, I'm still not, like a lot of people, I'm still not 100% on Roman, but he's looking better. Slightly, just ever so slightly looking better.
Yeah, I think he's starting to kind of put shit together. I'm still, don't put me on the fucking Roman track. But
yeah, not about to buy any.
I'm also not a big super Kevin Owens guy. Like, I don't dislike him, but he's just not, he's not in my club. Like, if I was a GM, he wouldn't have been one of my first picks. I think he's good, don't get me wrong. It's just not my my flavor. I think I like other people. A guy who might come out later. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. Kind of dumb shit booking. Seth comes out, attacks Kevin Owens, and the face GM is like, oh no, we're just going to restart this after Kevin Owens gets assaulted, and he's still beating up fucking Roman Reigns. So I don't know if this was damage control from all the people that were like, oh, he's a weak champion. But he's just beating the absolute piss, even after being assaulted mid-match.
Yeah.
At a Roman. Roman was looking like he was probably going to win. And then, returning from on high, all our boys Ruru comes running out to get a better look. Because he knows he's going to unify both the titles. He's going to get some sort of like double layered grannies. Where it's like Universal, US, and then champion across his crotch. So he's going out for a better seat. Roman assaulted him out of pure terror. It's kind of like when you're in like a haunted house and somebody's just like, hi, and you're like, ah! It's kind of like that. Like he sensed the awesome power of Rusev, so he attacked Rusev like a coward. Ends up losing, and then because he assaulted Rusev, and the fear activated Rusev's kill switch, he beat the fuck out of Roman.
Like, I was kind of in shock. He picked him up by his collar and repeatedly punched his head against the mat as it bounced back into his fist.
This was
Holy fuck.
This was definitely the payback from the last pay-per-view where it was super one-sided.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they go with a more middle-of-the-line match.
Yeah.
Let these two dudes beat the absolute piss out of themselves. I think that could be a really good match. Hopefully they're not like, oh, well, we're not going to let Reigns be a top guy, but we'll let him beat up Rusev, because I see Rusev. I'm going to go super fair. I wouldn't have an issue with Rusev dropping the U.S. title with a little bit of shenanigans, if that means we're going to get Rusev moving up the card. Have him murder a couple other guys. Have him murder the Man of Peace, my boy Jinder Mahal. Just straight up, he's just like, peace, my brother, and he just beats the absolute piss out of him. He's like got the turban wrapped around his throat, just punching him.
Just grabs him, Machkan! Just like throws him down, just starts mud stomping him.
And Lana, looking very nice. Respectfully, because I'm kind of terrified of Rusev.
But alright guys, that should do it for Raw. We will now move along to SmackDown. Merlin, what are you doing?
Falling asleep again.
Silly cat. Alright, well, hey, at least she's not flying all over the place like she was last week.
Alright, welcome back, Hype brothers and sisters. Let's go into some SmackDown talk.
Alrighty, so, first started up with AJ Styles coming out as the new SmackDown champion, being all cocky and shit, and then who would come out but John Cena?
Hyping his future t-shirt. I'm the champ that runs the camp.
Oh, yeah.
I am the champ that runs the camp. Hear me, merch guy? Yeah, I hear you.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, I was waiting for someone to come out during his little rant. Like, but they waited till after that to have Cena come out. And so they do the whole, you know, you have someone that belongs to me. And then they did kind of the obvious things. Oh, here, I don't need this anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
no.
my own fucking sweatband.
That.
Yeah, that thing I haven't had in 2 years. Mine.
And of course, Dean Ambrose has a problem with that.
Has John Cena ever held this title belt? Like, has he held it since they did the switch over to the big Goober belt? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
The big super logo.
They,
I was trying to think if he had, like, plates for it.
he might have, but I
can't imagine they don't have them made, because I'm sure, like, they probably order them in bulk, and they're like, oh, here's our top guys, let's make plates for them.
Yeah, so I would assume he had it at one point, but I can't remember.
Speaking of random shit, if you guys don't believe that they like AJ, go to shop.wwe.com, click on AJ Styles, and look at the various shit they have for him. They're behind AJ. Now, you want a beach towel and a butt plug and a fucking whiskey glass and some fucking hedge clippers to say phenomenal and AJ on the other one? Like, they have every fucking stupid thing. Like, it's not quite Cena. Like, I don't think they have an AJ Styles, like, cum rag and fucking, I don't know, standee so you can fucking look at John Cena while you beat off. Or maybe they have one. He's a pretty man, that AJ Styles, with his soccer mom hair. Getting back on topic.
If AJ Styles was a soccer mom, he'd be the hoe that runs the show.
Offensive.
Eh.
Put it in the comments section.
Eh.
Misogynist. Fucking, I don't know.
Alright, next...
So, alright, we gotta talk about it. I mean, I technically brought it up on the last one where I was kind of about to turn into a hypocrite. Because the last one I was kind of like, hey, John Cena kind of come back and demand it. But, like, in kayfabe, he's lost the last 2 singles matches against AJ, and then after losing last time, he was out an entire month. How could he demand a title match?
Yeah.
Like, I would have no problem if they were like, oh, we're having our tournament, and he just, like, beats up Jack Swagger.
Yeah, so that, I was a little confused, you know, like, he just has, like, I get to do whatever I want card, because it's John Cena.
Or if you had AJ cut a stupid-ass, like, open challenge thing, and John Cena, he's like, I met anybody who's never beat me.
Yeah, like, that would have been funny.
Like, I've already beaten you, I don't want a new person. But,
yeah,
like, David Bryan's like, you said anybody.
See, that would have been cool.
But just be like, I demand a title match, despite the fact I can't seem to beat you. And I've already lost twice in singles matches. Like, I think the only wins John Cena has over AJ are in tag matches.
Yeah. Alrighty, so. Following that, we had the rematch between the Usos and the Hype Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a little, not nearly as good as the match that we had at the pay-per-view. But again, Usos pick up the win.
Working over Mojo's eye, that's kind of a weird thing to work.
Yeah, they just did the little rake.
Yeah.
They had the eye rake on Mojo. They were working on Zach's leg. But yeah, Usos pick up the win. Not much to really talk about. So we had, next up was a Miz promo. Again, followed up with Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph coming off a bit of a whiner.
Yeah. But this was pretty much just like the other promos. There really wasn't much to talk about on this one. It's kind of stuff they've already talked about. Like,
Yeah.
Didn't really
I feel like
further
they
the
just had like
story.
a second match because they don't know who else to go against Miz. I think that's kind of an issue. I think SmackDown's already feeling a little light on talent. I feel
Yeah.
that's when I was saying, like, even if Raw's going to be the only one with a cruiserweight belt bringing in some of those cruiserweights to SmackDown just to have extra warm bodies
Yeah.
wouldn't be a bad idea.
So yeah, next up, oh boy. Not even a match between Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Baron just beats the shit out of him beforehand.
I was actually alright with it just because I literally just saw this match.
Yeah. So, as he's leaving, Jack Swagger comes out to announce that he is now on SmackDown, but he is, I don't even, how would you describe, like, the way he was, like, talking about, like, his, like, entrance?
Alright, here's the things we know about this fucking promo. Jack Swagger has a hot wife, and he is a problem. But the way he put it didn't sound like I am a good thing. It was more like I have issues. Like,
yeah, like this was
I have
really
a pretty
weird.
wife, and I am not the brightest.
Yeah, so
And then he was like, I stand alone. I mean, we the people. And it was just like, Jackie boy, my boy. A fucking Oklahoma spirit animal. Please don't fuck this up, because I got a lot of faith. I think he's a... I've said it before, I'll put my reputation out there. I think if he left WWE and some other indie company picked him up and just let him be Kurt Angle light,
yeah.
where he just came in there and just like tossed bitches around, he would be a big star. So I think that's what they need. So hey, you know, I just have this bad feeling they're bringing him into feeding to Corbin though.
Yeah. Alrighty, so next up we had Becky's promo. Just her as the new champion, followed by the number one contenders match between
I gotta say,
the other
I'm
girls.
really happy with the way they're letting Becky kind of be herself.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, they were kind of, you're just Irish, that's your gimmick, you're girl Sheamus. And now they're kind of letting her be awkward and... Like,
bubbly.
well, she's awkward, but not Bailey awkward.
Right.
Like, you can definitely tell she's just kind of like a weirdo, and probably a tomboy and stuff, and like... Because, alright, I'll be super fair, she's very hot.
Oh, yeah, that was no question.
Yeah. So, like, they could have very easily just kind of played her off as just like, you're the pretty girl and you're female Sheamus and that's your gimmick. But no, they're letting her be kind of geeky.
I am very on the fence over who my favorite female wrestler is right now. It's either Becky or Naomi. Like, I am very much on the border.
Asuka.
I absolutely love Naomi's
Do you
gimmick.
like those two over Ember? I'm talking.
I have to see more of Ember. I think she's pretty cool. She's definitely up there. But I have to see more of her before she becomes one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've got Asuka.
Yeah.
A spirit animal, period.
So yeah, obviously all the girls from the last match.
WWE, make an Asuka body pillow. Just saying. You make money. You don't have to say what it is. Just be like, oh, it's a wrestle buddy. You should edit that out.
No, I'm not.
I'm telling you, you make money. Merch hat on. If you just were like, wrestle buddies, you like, put some, you make a fucking, I'll be fair to the ladies and the men of a different persuasion. That Finn Balor one with the fucking Ripley abs and like it's like a lumpy pillow in there. So it's all like, I don't eat carbs and I think
Looking over at Sugar just because in our heads, her favorite wrestler is Finn Balor.
So then when she comes to watch matches. So yeah, you can have like, I don't know what the ladies like. I know Finn Balor's one of them. Sethy Poo. He's definitely up there.
Maybe
Heathy
Roman
baby.
Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Heathy baby. He's got to be in there. Why not? And then like Asuka, some of the ladies just be like, oh, what is it? It's a wrestling buddy. Shut up. Do it. Make money. Alright, so getting back to whatever the fuck I was mumbling about. Oh, my love of Asuka. Alright, so yeah, the five-way, which I had no issue with. It was single elimination.
It's okay.
I saw a lot of people that were really shocked, but honestly, I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, you called it though, dude.
Yeah.
You definitely did. With Alexa Bliss picking up the win as your number
I
one
think
contender.
you got Nikki and Carmella still got their thing going.
Yep.
I think, I love you, Natty. you know, lots of love, but Jesus Christ, she's a charisma vacuum. And I didn't think they were going to go face-face. So that eliminated Naomi. So I thought that was the way they had to go. I don't know what they're going to do with Naomi, and maybe Naomi will feud with Eva Marie should be coming back. And I think Natty just kind of takes a back seat for right now. She can come in, she can do these matches where she can work, but by God, keep her away from a mic. Like, if I saw a mic and I was like security, I would tackle the mic to protect Talia from that mic. Just jump the fence like, oh! Like, no. Because she's got to stop screaming too, because then I can hear her talking. It's horrible. Like, it's not like a voice thing. It's like, she's like, yeah! Ooh! I'm gonna wrestle you! And she says like the same thing like 900 times. Like, I will say I did like the thing where she was wrestling Carmella and she's like, show me you want to be a lady wrestler. And I was like, that's cool. I like that. They gotta stop calling it the women's division, call it the ladies division. Are you a lady wrestler? Like, that's old school. That sounds fucking cool. That sounds tough as shit. The guy fucking, I'll rip your dick off. Fight me. A lady wrestler. Just like, ugh. I'm gonna buy you a fucking catfish dinner and discuss this shit. Lady wrestler, that's fucking cool. That's tough. Like, women's division competitor superstar, not so much. Lady wrestler.
It does have a bit of a flair to it, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like, it's like, that's what I would, if somebody asked me, like, what did Moolah do? She's a lady wrestler. What is Eva Marie? Walking tits.
It's like Assy McGee, only with tits.
It's like lady wrestler. She'll fucking rip your eyes out. She's got claws on top of like being mean and tough. Mean, I told you I like it. Alright, continue on. Good shit. So we get the cute redhead against the lolly chick.
Alright, next up we had the Heath Slater contract signing. Not really much to talk about, you know, but...
Kind of good promo, I'll give him that. And then...
Who comes out demanding... Obviously they said they would fight... You know,
anyone, anywhere, anytime. Yeah!
And who would come out but the Ascension.
With new face paint, which I dig.
And so Heath immediately was like, well, we can't do this now. You know, we're in the middle of a thing. And Shane McMahon's like,
yeah, there's a table here, a rug. Shane's like,
no, I think we can totally do this right now.
I'm the referees, let me clean this shit up. Go to commercial. And he's like, no, Shane, no.
But yeah, this was a little match, you know.
God damn it, Connor.
Trigger, what are you doing?
I do like that they now have, like, an Ascension-style letter of a K and a V. I dig it. So it's
she was
like...
talking about Finn Balor, now she's wondering...
She's all frisky. So,
are you guys talking about Finn Balor?
So, alright, we have this... I assume it was going to be a double squisher. You know, he picked him up and he was going to spine buster him, and Victor was going to jump and assist it, but, like... I'm blaming Connor because you got to be pretty fucking hard in the head to not feel your partner pushing on someone that you're holding up in the air.
Yeah. He
should have just, like, fell. Nope. He just stood there. And then Victor's like... Connor. Do gotta say, he looks pretty fucking scary, though. You don't realize how big he is till he's standing face to face with Rhino, and his shoulders are where Rhino's head is. Yeah. It's like, damn, that's a big boy. And I always like Victor. I think he's solid shit. So yeah, I like that stuff. Wasn't a great match, but you know, I hope they'll give the Ascension
a little more,
another chance. You know.
Yeah. So next week we'll probably see like
the Dangler.
Yeah, Breezango. We'll probably see the Vaudevillain.
The top not top guy and the Dangler returned because they haven't been on since they lost in the thing. Like Dangler did his one-on-one with Kane, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know if Tyler Breeze is like has an injury or something. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Maybe he's just working dark matches. I don't know. I mean, SmackDown is such a depleted brand. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Alrighty. So after that, we had the Randy Bray promo. And this was Bray. He does such good promos. Love Bray promos. This was kind of a quick. It wasn't very long. Very quick.
Gotta say, I skipped it.
Yeah, like I said, it was very quick. Randy was just like, "You thought you could take me out and end my career? Well, you're not the first, you won't be the last." So
I think I went and literally got a drink during this thing. I was just like,
yeah, it really wasn't bad. Like I said,
just, if they're not gonna put anything into this, I have a hard time caring about it.
So like Bray came up, with the pre-recorded promo, which was really cool. Again, Bray does amazing promos, and then the lights went out. He's behind the ring, taunting him, like he's like, come on, come in, Bray. Lights go out again.
Big goof. Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan is behind him, he beats him down a little bit, but then he gets an RKO.
Ginger Stan Hansen, as BBL wants to call him. Yeah, so, he attacked Randy, who is kayfabe injured, and legitimately injured. But he just no-sold that shit and the ankle injury and just hit an RKO.
Yeah.
Luke Harper can't come back fast enough.
Yeah, and I honestly thought that's what they were going to do, like what we had discussed last week.
I think if they could have got him, they would have done it on the pay-per-view. I really think so. I don't know. They need him bad. I've already heard people that are like, "Oh, you should probably go to Raw." I'm like, no, SmackDown needs people. They need fucking warm bodies. Raw's about to get probably 10 guys for the cruiserweights.
All right.
SmackDown needs warm bodies.
So, as the night had progressed, we've been seeing AJ try to get a tag team partner for this match against Cena. Pardon me. Against Cena and Ambrose. So, he looked at Baron Corbin, he looked at Kane. His appointed...
He's a fool. Should have gone for Arn Anderson first. Should have learned from fucking Heath Slater. Could have had the Enforcer.
So, his appointed tag team partner was, in fact...
the man who is immune to all chin-based attacks because he himself lacks a chin because, in fact... he lost it saving a kitten from a tree. Truth.
James Ellsworth.
Ellsworth.
Sorry.
Be fair, this man's a star. On Talking Smack, Daniel Bryan actually showed that after he defeated Cena, because it was a known thing, if Miz hadn't done what he would do later on in the night, he was going to be the cover of 2K17 as the special edition version. But because of what would happen, Daniel Bryan couldn't swing it. Sad. Sad.
So, as he was coming down the ring, The Miz came out, attacked him, said...
He's probably immune to John Cena's STFU. He doesn't have the chin. How could John Cena get the leverage? It would have slid up and over. What could Cena do?
This man needs to be on more television. I don't give a shit what you do. That needs to be his gimmick.
Yeah, he just needs to get murdered, collect his paycheck, and pick up his fan following. I think that's where they need him. They need that job guy of this generation, where that's what he does. He can go out there and get destroyed week in and week out. Everybody knows what his thing is. Maybe somewhere down the line you could give him a couple like, oh, he's gonna win, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
But you never fucking fuck that up. You can't win WWE, or you ruin the character.
Yeah.
And then 4 years down the road or something, where people are just kind of like, yeah, go get him, but he's never won. He gets his victory, and that's how you send him sailing off into the sunset.
Yep.
But yeah, till then, you don't have him beat anybody. He just kind of comes in, gets murdered, and that's his job. And bring in some of these other guys you've been having, but try to get some fucking specimens, like those guys that were at the pay-per-view. The guy was just like skinny as fuck, big pot belly. I dig it. That's a gimmick right there. Like, just let him get murdered by like everyone else. Braun Strowman. All these guys. They should like start a gimmick where they're just like followers of Braun Strowman. Like they're like, if we can beat him, we'll be the greatest. And then Braun Strowman just murders them, and then they show him on SmackDown. Like, I don't want to fight him anymore. Like, it's just like their safe haven from getting murdered by Braun Strowman.
Alright, so, the match itself, it was okay.
Alright, so, because we kind of glossed over it, as Ellsworth was making his run to the ring, Miz assaulted the shit out of him. Those were some stiff skis punches. He was like punching him, and you could hear the metal on the ramp shaking. So Miz was hitting him pretty good. Threw him off the ramp after a skull-crushing finale on the ramp, and Ellsworth was dragged to the back. So it was AJ and Miz, who right now are my top two guys on SmackDown, against Dino, who you guys know my opinion on, and John Cena, who's been doing some of the best work of his career lately.
Oh,
so.
yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't a bad little match. I kind of wish we would have got a little bit more dissent between Cena and Dino, especially with what they'd want to do at the end. I really felt that they shouldn't have Miz lose. AJ could have taken the pin, it wouldn't have hurt him.
Right.
But Miz needed to look strong. I strongly disagree with the end of this match. Should have flipped it. You know, I would have had Miz, like, go for the skull-crushing finale on Dino. Cena kicks him in the gut. He rolls out. AJ comes in. He's, like, waiting behind Cena, like he's getting ready to do something. Dino hits him with the dirty deeds.
Right.
And, like, Cena turns and he's just like, you know, Dino gives him, like, the cool guy, like, hey, you take it, man. You're a legal man. Cena gets the pin. He does his fucking, you can't see me, celebration after the match, hot dog, and turns, eats the dirty deeds of his own. That's how I would have booked it. If you will. I didn't like them having Miz lose right there.
I agree.
I think he needed a little bit more protection. I think AJ's character, he can lose every... He's like what Seth was, where he can lose every time on TV. It doesn't hurt him because he's going to do something amazing in his matches. So, alright. That was SmackDown. Take a little quick break from the WWE. We'll do a couple of the other stuff. Some Lucha, a little bit of Rev Pro, and a little bit of TNA.